The train leaves at dawn, my love. You'll find this when the rooster calls. The gas lamp flickers low tonight. The rain taps on the sill. I've packed my coat, I've trimmed the light, and written what you will. The garden gate still swings the same. The rose you gave, still red. But I must go without a name. Just these few words I've said. So keep the key beneath the stone, and let the old clock wind. I'll be a voice the wind has blown, a love you'll never find. Forgive the hand that writes in haste. The ink may blur and spill. Goodbye, my heart, don't let it waste. This letter on the windowsill. The parlor stove has turned to gray. Your shawl hangs on the chair. I kissed its fringe at break of day, breathed lavender still there. The postman passed an hour ago. No letter came for me. So this is all I'll ever owe, a soft goodbye, you'll see. So keep the key beneath the stone, and let the old clock wind. I'll be a voice the wind has blown, a love you'll never find. Forgive the hand that writes in haste. The ink may blur and spill. Goodbye, my heart, don't let it waste. This letter on the windowsill. They say the river takes all names. I'll write yours once more before the rain erases it. So keep the key beneath the stone, let the old clock wind. I'll be a voice the wind has blown, the one you leave behind. And when the winter finds this room, and snow begins to chill, just read the words that wept in gloom. My letter on the windowsill. On the windowsill. On the windowsill. Remember how we sang too loud in a car that barely ran? You were the bravest in the crowd. I was just the kid who ran. We thought the summer wouldn't end. We thought the cold would wait. But autumn came around the bend, and you walked through the gate. Goodbye, sweet Caroline. You still live in the back of my mind. I don't reach for you anymore, but I'm glad you were mine for a while. Goodbye, sweet Caroline. I heard you got that house you wanted, with the porch and the morning light. I hope you leave the back door open on those perfect July nights. I never told you I was jealous of how easy you could leave. But now I'm older, I'm not jealous. I'm just happy you believe. Goodbye, sweet Caroline. You still live in the back of my mind. I don't reach for you anymore, but I'm glad you were mine for a while. Goodbye, sweet Caroline. Touching hands, we don't anymore. Reaching out, nobody's keeping score. The song comes on at bars sometimes, and I don't cry, I just rewind. So if you're somewhere with a stranger and you hear this on the air, know I finally made my peace with all the silence we left there. I'm not waiting for a postcard. I'm not counting up the cost. Sweet Caroline, you taught me loving isn't keeping, it's the loss. Goodbye, sweet Caroline. You still live in the back of my mind. I don't reach for you anymore, but I'm glad you were mine for a while. There's a road out on the plains where the wind knows my true name. I walk through fire and endless rain. Now I won't be the same. My father was a broken man. My mother, she drank gin. But I was born with calloused hands and a fire burning within. The only thing a poor child learns is that luck's a losing game. But I took every stone they'd thrown and built myself a flame. So don't you weep for where I've been. Don't bury me in lies. I'm not the ghost you knew back then. I'm the road beyond the skies. There is a town with rusty gates where I swore I'd never stay. But now I'm leaving my own mistakes at the station yesterday. If you ask me what I've lost, I'll tell you not enough to keep me counting up the cost when freedom's in my blood. So don't you weep for where I've been. Don't bury me in lies. I'm not the ghost you knew back then. I'm the road beyond the sky. I'm the road beyond the shadows, where the sun begins to rise. I hear the train roll by at dawn. Its whistle is a question mark. It says why you're still sitting here when you could be running with the dark. But I've run that race 1,000 times down hallways with no end. Freedom isn't leaving walls behind, it's making peace with where you stand. No, the key was never found, but the lock just fell away. I don't need to hear that train sound to know I'm free today. got a crack of light that splits the floor at noon. And I've measured every shadow's height underneath the same old moon. I used to count the cinder blocks and dream about the gate, but now I count the heartbeats in my chest, and I call that my estate. No, the key was never found, but the lock just fell away. I don't need to hear that train sound to know I'm free today. They can keep their iron doors and their morning head count lines. I'm dancing where the dust falls on the floor. I've gotten miles inside my mind. So let that train keep screaming south with its passengers and thieves. I've got a window in my mouth and I'm breathing through the breeze. I'm not waiting for or a pardon from the state. I pardoned myself last winter when I learned it wasn't up to fate. No, the key was never found, but the lock just fell away. I don't need to hear that train sound to know I'm free today. Hear that train? Let it sing. I'm already free inside this thing. The key was never found. No, the key was never found. I heard there was a prayer I spoke when my whole world went up in smoke. But God just sat there counting flies. It wasn't loud, it wasn't grand, just broken words from shaking hands. The first small hallelujah of my life. A quiet hallelujah, a cracked and tired tune, a hallelujah after the ruin, when the heart has nothing left to prove. To beg for burning signs, for thunderbolts and twisted vines, for something holy to arrive. But silence taught me more than noise, that faith is not a cry for toys. It's sitting still when nothing feels alive. A quiet a cracked and tired tune, a hallelujah after the ruin, when the heart has nothing left to prove. pages torn and hidden doubt. She never told me what to feel. She just woke up and made the tea, and somehow that was enough for me. A simple hallelujah that was real. So maybe hallelujah means not fireworks or holy scenes, but folding laundry, sweeping floors. It's saying yes when you're not sure. It's opening a broken door and walking through because you've been there before. A quiet hallelujah, a cracked and tired tune, a hallelujah after the ruin, when the heart has nothing left to prove. And even if no one is listening, even if it's just the air, hallelujah, hallelujah, I'm still here. When the night starts to crumble down and my friends have left this town, when the noise all fades away, I don't run, I learn to stay. When the roof begins to leak and my body feels too weak, when the future isn't clear, I still whisper in my ear, no, I won't cry for anyone. I've got arms to hold myself when the storm has just begun. I stand alone now, I don't need no one else. I remember begging, please, knees all bloody on the breeze, but the sky just stayed so still. So I climbed that hill myself. Every scar became a stone, If the moon forgets to glow, I'll be my own lullaby. I'll be my own morning light. So don't you wait for me to fall. I learned to stand. That says it all. I stand alone now. I stand alone now. Imagine no perfection, no paradise to sell. Imagine just directions to a place where people fail and get back up tomorrow without pretending they're not sore. Imagine something smaller than what we've been asking for. I know it's not a dream come true. I know the world is cracked in two. But imagine trying again. Not because it works, but because we can. Imagine no more fighting over whose God knows the way. Just two tired people sitting at a table trying to stay. Not forever, maybe Tuesday, maybe Thursday afternoon. Imagine that's enough now to pull a little closer to the moon. I know it's not a dream come true. I know the world is cracked in two. But imagine trying again. Not because it works, but because we can. I'm not saying share all your money or tear down every flag. I'm saying maybe one good conversation is better than one more had. Let the dreamers keep on dreaming of a world with no divides. I'll be here with a cup of coffee, trying to see the other side. Imagine no grand answer, no chorus in the sky, just people getting kinder before they have to die. It's not a revolution, it's not a holy plan. It's just a single breath that says, I'll try to understand. I know it's not a dream come true. I know the world is cracked in two. But imagine trying again. Not because it works, 'cause we can. Imagine trying not to fix it all, just to try again tomorrow.
I see skies of gray sometimes, and rain that won't go home. I see people losing their best years to a telephone's cold tone. But I also see the way the steam curls from a coffee cup at dawn, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see broken fences, folded flags, friends who don't speak no more. I see young hearts closing like old bags, and dreams washed up on shore. But I also see a child handing cookie to a crying friend, and I think to myself, it's not perfect, but it won't always end. Oh, the trouble and the tenderness both live inside the same address. I don't have to choose between the two. I just have to see the real and still say beautiful. I've seen doctors with no answers, and funerals in the spring. I've heard silence after cancer, and what that silence brings. But I've also seen a garden grow in a crack of broken street, and I think to myself, even the wounded world has got its beat. Oh, the trouble and the tenderness both live inside the same address. I don't have to choose between the two. I just have to see the real and still say beautiful. It's not that I forget the scars, it's that I see the stars that made it through. The world is wonderful, not because it's easy, but because it's somehow still here, me and you. Yes, I see the dark, but I also see the light. And I think to myself, what a wonderful, still wonderful world.
Woke up late, lost my keys again. Spilled my coffee, what a way to begin. Got a text that I missed wrong, but I laughed it off and wrote a brand new song. The world keeps spinning, fast and loud. Some days I'm lost inside the crowd, but I've learned to dance in the pouring rain, find the sunshine in the ache and the pain. And it's not perfect, no it never will be, but that's the thing that makes it real to me. Oh, this is the beautiful chaos, the twists and turns, the highs and the lows. We're all just stardust, trying to shine, falling apart and being fine. Yeah, this is a beautiful, wonderful, messy ride. With my whole heart, I'm staying alive in the beautiful chaos. I'm finally home. Had a plan that fell right through my hands. Ended up in a place I never planned. Met a stranger, now they're a friend. Sometimes the broken roads are the ones that mend. I don't need a map to know the way, I just need the courage to sway. Every scar's a story, every tear's a tide, and I'm learning to love this wild inside. It's not easy, no it cuts me deep, but it's the promise that I choose to keep. Oh, this is a beautiful chaos, the twists and turns, the highs and the lows. We're all just stardust, trying to shine, falling apart and being fine. Yeah, this is a beautiful, wonderful, messy ride. With my whole heart, I'm staying alive in the beautiful chaos. I'm finally home. So let the thunder roll, let the ground shake. I'm not hiding from my own mistake. Every wrong turn, every crash and burn is just another page that I had to learn. And if nothing glittered, how would we know gold? If we weren't broken, how would we be bold? Guitar and drum build, build, big emphatic feel. Oh, this is a beautiful chaos. The shattered glass, the light it tosses. We're all just fireworks in the dark, lighting up a question mark. Yeah, this is a beautiful, terrifying, precious ride. With open arms, I'm feeling alive in the beautiful chaos. I'm not alone in the beautiful chaos. I found my home. So wake up late, lose your keys again, spill your coffee and just just begin. Beautiful chaos, yeah, it's where I belong.
I walk through walls of burning red, with angry voices in my head. The smoke was thick, the heat was wild. I was a lost and reckless child. I dove down deep into the glow, where nothing good had room to grow. The flames would lick my heels each night. I thought that fire was my only light, but now the ashes fall like snow, and I don't run, and I don't go back to the heat that left me burned. I finally learned what peace has earned. Fire was just a cage, a hungry, wild, self-made rage. I thought that love had to burn bright, but real love holds you in the quiet night. So not charcoal, cold and dead. It's warm like morning sun instead. And now the ashes fall like snow, and I don't run, and I don't go back to the heat that left me burned. I finally learned what peace has earned. No more falling into flames, no more playing losing games. The fire's out, I let it die. Now I just watch the sunrise sky. The ring is broken, the fire's gone. I still breathe here